What is up, guys? This is Rich with Red Phone Video, and I wanted to make a video about this room that I'm sitting in right now, and it's called the horror room for obvious reasons. Essentially, I'm just going to give you guys a tour of this room and show you all the stuff that I've collected and cultivated over the years. A lot of friends of mine in the past told me that I should probably showcase some of this stuff because I've got a lot of cool shit in this room. And most of this stuff is shit that I got from like horror cons. I haven't been to like a shitload of horror conventions, but the few cons that I have been to, I've met some really cool people there. People like Linnea Quigley, Shawnee Smith, Danielle Harris, PJ Souls. Horror cons to me always felt like they were like a home away from home. I've been obsessed with horror since I was a kid, so, this room just makes me feel kind of warm and fuzzy. Sometimes I just come in here and I just ruminate and zone out and just stare at my horror movies for hours. It's a really cool room. It's like my safe haven. It's my fortress of solitude. I hate using the term man cave, but I guess that's what you could consider it. I don't know. I come in this room and I just feel like I belong. Because in other parts of my house, I don't really feel that way. I don't feel like I really belong. But anyway, a lot of cool shit in this room. I've got dolls. I've got masks. I've got toys. It's basically just a bunch of fucking toys if you want to know the truth. And part of me feels like I'm growing out of this stuff. And then another part of me thinks that I'm just running out of room for all this shit. Because this room is filled to the brim with nothing but horror stuff. And I would say like this room is probably 99.5% horror. It's basically just devoted to horror, the horror genre. Funny story about this room before I get into the tour. One time I went on a date with a girl and I brought her to my house. And I guess you could say the rest of my house is somewhat normal. But when you come into this part of the house, I guess it freaked her out because she came in here and she just recoiled and then she went home and I never saw her again after that, and I'm assuming she wasn't the one for me. But anyway, that's a different story and we need to keep it moving. So what I'm going to do is give you guys the tour and just show you all the cool stuff that I've got. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. So basically where we're going to start first is here, right here at the movies. I'm going to show you these DVDs. As you can see, there's a little doll from the doll from Saw. But I'm going to show you these DVDs first. I'm not going to go through all these. That would be just insane. But this room is basically just dedicated to just horror DVDs for the most part. Now, there's some shelves that they have, some Blu-ray collector box sets over here. This room is just dedicated to DVDs. I have another room strictly for Blu-rays. And I would like to showcase some of these box sets up top here. Like, the Paranormal Activity box set. You got the Fly collection. 2 box sets from Arrow Video of the House films. Actually, I believe this is just the first 2 films. You have, I think this one was from the UK, and that's, that has all of the House films in it. The Blind Dead collection, this is one of my favorites. I believe Blue Underground put this out, and these are some great films. The It's Alive trilogy, of course, classic. Larry Cohen. The Amityville box set from Vinegar Syndrome. They released this. These films are not really all that good, but if you're a purist, if you're a completist, if you have that kind of mentality, then get your hands on, that box set. Actually, I don't even think you can anymore. But then you have the Amityville Horror Trilogy from Scream Factory. There's the Freddy box set, which, has not been upgraded to any kind of decent, like, Blu-ray release yet. As you can see, those are all DVDs. But that box set was it was awesome when it first came out. I knew so many people that had that. Awesome stuff. Halloween 30th anniversary commemorative set. Look at that mask there. That's cool. He Came from the Swamp. Weird Wisconsin. The Bill Rebane collection. There is The Evil Dead. Sorry, I'm just flying through these. Leprechaun, the DVD box set. I thought about boxing that up because I do have those on Blu-ray, but that's just a cool box set. So, and then the Underworld movies on Blu-ray. That's still in the packaging. The Underworld movies on 4K. And I put that right next to that sexy Resident Evil 4K box set. They look great together. The Hellraiser, that the Scarlet box. I'm trying to get a good angle on that. But that was from Arrow. That was an awesome release, and I do believe Arrow is about to put out a Hellraiser box set on 4K pretty soon. It might just be a UK release, but these are the first 3 films on Blu-ray. So, and then I've got these figurines from Hellraiser, these Cenobites. Got those at a horror convention. They're pretty rad, to say the least. And then, of course, there's Uncle Frank back there. Bloody Uncle Frank. And then you have this puzzle box here. So there's a nice little Hellraiser feng shui going on over here. And then all these DVDs here. All these DVDs. Look at that. That is just insane. And then these over here, which I believe I already covered these, but we'll get one more look at it. All these movies. And these are the ones, most of these movies have not been upgraded to Blu-ray yet. Some of them have, but most of these are just pretty rare and obscure, so I like to keep them in here. Sometimes just to stare at the cases endlessly. Alright, so next up over here, we have a poster for a movie called Offerings. It's pretty good. It's, it's kind of a Halloween ripoff, sort of a romance / horror story. And, I'm not like a super big fan of the movie, but the poster I always thought was cool. Remember him before he dismembers you. It's a pretty badass poster. And then we have another movie I'm not a huge fan of. I love the first Chud. The second Chud, not so much. Bud the Chud, as they call it. But that's a cool poster. I always love the poster. Over here, I've got some mini posters. I've got Ghoulies. I've got Dolls. And I have, the classic poster for Nightmare on Elm Street. I've got Hellraiser and Puppet Master 2. Underrated movie, in my opinion. And then, of course, let me get back here a little bit. I've got a poster for Reanimator. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, one of my favorite horror films of all time. Then we have Halloween 2, awesome sequel, of course. And these mini posters, basically, I want to say I picked these up from Texas Frightmare, but they actually used to be along this wall right here. That's why this wall looks so naked. I used to have those pinned up on the wall, but I took them down recently because I've got all these like 8x12 photos that I had signed from celebrities over the years from like horror cons, and they've yet to be framed. I've been meaning to do it. I've just been lazy, but these mini posters just fit perfectly in this little corner. So anyway, I'll get that wall space filled up one of these days. Moving along here, I've got this table in the middle of the room, and as you can see in the corner, there are some Jason Voorhees dolls. You got the Baghead Jason, and then you've got the classic Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason. And then along the wall, you've got some Tiffany Helm as Violet from Friday the 13th Part 5. You also have Deborah Voorhees along the wall here. And this is actually Deborah Voorhees' movie that she directed. If you haven't heard of it, it's called 13 Fanboy, and I was actually a co-producer on it. And Corey Feldman is in the movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's about a crazed slasher fan who starts, doing these copycat murders. It's just a good little throwback to those Friday the 13th films. It's a good little homage. And then I've got this little shrine over here with Scream. The telephone and the 2 little ghost face figurines. And then you've got Christine, that little model car there. It's pretty awesome. Give you a good look at that. Look at Christine, man. Looking sleek and badass as usual. I've got a cigar box. You can put your weed in there. And then over here, Close Calls. This is a VHS of Close Calls. This is actually a movie that I directed. I produced, wrote, and directed this film in 2016. And if you guys want to check it out, you can get the Blu-ray on Scream Team Releasing, or you can get it on Amazon. I believe they still have VHS tapes available of this. I'm not sure, but definitely check this movie out if you like weird David Lynch shit and old Italian thrillers and giallos. This was kind of a throwback to that. And you can also check out this movie for free on Tubi. Watch it on Tubi. Don't, if you watch it, if you try to watch it anywhere else, like on YouTube, it's completely truncated and edited. But anyway, that is Close Calls. I'm really, really proud of that movie. And these are some VHS tapes that I had rhinestoned from a friend of mine named Sadie Tate. And she's an actress, and she was in a film called Space Babes from Outer Space. She was in a movie called Thrust. But these were some VHS tapes that I picked up from her because she has a Facebook page called Stoned by Tate. You should check it out. Because basically what she does is she adds this rhinestone to some of these covers, and it puts that nice little shimmer to it. So let me just hold that up there. See, that's pretty badass. And Popcorn is a fucking awesome movie if you haven't seen it. And then we have the classic Sheena with Tanya Roberts here. And Blue Sunshine. I had to get this. I love the way Sadie did the stoning of this tape here. Blue Sunshine. Classic, weird, drug fucking movie. It's about these like people who did a bunch of LSD, and then years later they start going mad from it, and just going fucking insane. I imagine it's some kind of anti-drug propaganda movie. I don't know, but it's directed by Jeff Lieberman, who also directed Squirm. So yeah. Then the Stepford Wives, of course. Sadie did this one for me too, and I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. Sadie does good work. Should definitely check out her page. And check out some of the movies she's acted in too. Thrust, Space Babes from Outer Space. And then of course Shag. I don't know why that's in here. That's just a good movie. But anyway, moving along. So along this entrance wall, I've got these keychains, which I can't remember where I actually got these from, but I've got Microwave Massacre there, Sleepaway Camp, and these are all basically from the VHS covers of these movies. I've got Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. I've got the Ghoulies. Yeah, Ghoulies, that's a badass cover. I love that. It's so iconic. Then we have The Stuff and Silent Night, Deadly Night. Who can forget that cover? Return of the Living Dead. Then we have Pumpkinhead. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I always loved this cover right here, this box art. On a lot of the DVDs, and just like the posters. This wasn't the original poster, but this was basically the cover art that I saw in the video stores all the time. And just look how gnarly Freddy looks there. That's his best look, in my opinion. That's when Kevin Yeager started doing the makeup for Freddy. But anyway, then we have Rocktober Blood. That is a piece of shit movie, but the cover is awesome. And then we have The Video Dead. But yeah, I love these keychains. Like I said, I don't remember where I got these. It was some Etsy store online. But yeah, love them. And then above this entryway door, we have some NECA figurines. Now, these are all Friday the 13th figures. We have Imposter Roy from Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And then we have this fucking gnarly looking Mrs. Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 3D when she leaps out of the lake there. Pretty sweet. And then, of course, we have classic Jason with the green shirt. I always like that Richard Brooker look. And then we have Freddy. I lied to you. This is not all Friday the 13th. This is Freddy from Nightmare 3, looks like. That is pretty sweet. NECA does good work. And then, of course, this is Freddy's Revenge there. And you notice I don't take these out of the cases because I'm a fucking nerd. So, yeah, that's just the way it is. And also along this wall here, we have next to this Jason figure here, we have a signed portrait from PJ Souls of Halloween fame. Totally nice to meet you. This is that was PJ Souls from Carrie when she played Norma, and then she signed this for me too. This was wow, yeah. This takes me back to '07. I think this was. This was on my birthday. See anything you like for your 25th birthday? Holy shit, that was a long time ago. And then this Halloween 2 figure, this Creep Show Father's Day figure, Nathan Grantham. And then it gets kind of like there's like a little George Romero thing going on over here. You got the Hare Krishna zombie from Dawn of the Dead. Then you have the plaid shirt zombie, and these were like these old NECA, like cult classic toys. And then you have Flyboy, of course. You know, who doesn't love Flyboy? And then of course there's like there's Jason hanging on the wall there, and then we have Bub from Day of the Dead. That's a cool figurine. And then of course we have the fucking tongue zombie from the Day of the Dead opening, and Dawn of the Dead, the classic poster hanging on this door there. And then down here, Freddy's Dead. I don't love Freddy's Dead, but I'll tell you what I do love is that poster. Below the Day of the Dead, there's just some random stuff here. You know, we got Pinhead from Puppet Master, and then we have a Shaun of the Dead figure from the NECA Cult Classics line. And I did forget some of this stuff. Let me just run through this really quick. We got the Gremlin, also from the Cult Classics line. You got the Gremlin. Which Gremlin was this? This was Mohawk, yeah. And then down here, there's like this some Gremlins figurines. I don't even remember who got that. I don't think I bought this. I think I got it from a friend. And then Candyman, Day of the Dead. Then this wasn't NECA. This was McFarlane, I do believe. Yeah. These were also McFarlane too. I don't know if people remember these little 3D posters, like this wall art here. These little 3D displays. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And RoboCop, as you guys know, is not horror, but it's horror-esque. It was, damn it, it was horror-esque enough for me to put it in this room. So you'll just have to deal with that. And then Friday the 13th, the classic poster from Friday the 13th. I love that poster. Um, it's just so emblematic. This to me is probably one of the most recognizable posters in horror history. Just that silhouette, the woods, and Kevin Bacon and his friends there. But yeah, cool stuff. Here's a wall of posters for you guys really quick. I just want to show these off. This is Critters, of course, one of the most popular posters from the 80s. And then Bloody Birthday, a really cool poster. The movie's okay too. It's just I just love the cover art for that poster there. And then of course Christine. And actually that Christine poster was signed by John Carpenter, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. And then we have The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 at the end. So this is pretty much my little poster wall here. And then we have these posters over here. Witchboard 2, which is one of my favorite posters of all time. It's got the fine-ass Amy Dolenz on it, who was like, oh, she was so great when I was a kid. Like, watching horror movies in the early 90s, Amy Dolenz, it just seemed like she was in everything. She was in Witchboard 2, she was in Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. I mean, she was just hot, The daughter of Mickey Dolenz, by the way. But she was also in Ticks. So, Amy Dolenz, I don't come back to the horror world. We need you. She was such an awesome scream queen. But then there's Jason Goes to Hell. That poster it's a little buried by all that stuff in the corner, but Who doesn't love the Jason Goes to Hell poster? I know a lot of people don't love the movie, but the poster was sweet, and you can't deny that. Now, on these shelves here, in the corner, you can see that Maniac Cop figure, Cordell from Maniac Cop. Love him. And then we have Captain Spaulding up here. Then we have Joe Spinell from Maniac. I don't remember where I bought that, but it was a custom figure that I found. A friend of mine, social media had shared that, and I don't remember where I bought it from, but I fucking love it. And then we have a Sideshow collectible Freddy Krueger there from New Nightmare. We have Leatherface, another big Leatherface behind him, and Freddy Krueger before he was burned. And then down here, I love this because we have classic Freddy there. I believe that's like a Nightmare 3 look. And then all these Jason figurines. And if you look closely, you can see Mrs. Voorhees buried in the background there. And then Baghead Jason is hiding back there too. But these are all the Jasons for the most part. I believe they never made one of Imposter Roy from Part 5. And they never made a Jason Takes Manhattan one either. Not to my knowledge. But Sideshow Collectibles put out all these really accurate looking Jason figurines. And, you have Jason Lives. And you got the final chapter back there. You got Jason X before he became Uber Jason. And that's, Freddy versus Jason. You guys get it. If you've seen the movies, you know which is which. Now, down here, this is kind of like a Chucky collection. You got these two dolls. These I found at a flea market. Most of this stuff I found at a flea market. Because a lot of these Sideshow collectibles were pretty hard to find. But then we got these Good Guy dolls. Those came from Scream Factory, I do believe. And then the Chucky from Child's Play 3 with, half his face missing. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. It's pretty rad. And then back up here, this mask I found from a buddy of mine. Actually, both of these. A buddy of mine sold these to me for a pretty good price. This is like a Halloween 2 mold, I'm pretty sure. The one that Dick Warlock wore. And I think it looks like just classic Myers. Of course, the second one was classic Myers too. It's just the face was a little more stretched out. This, honestly, I don't know what that is. I just like the mask. Kind of reminds me of Uncle Reed from the Night of the Living Dead remake. But that's pretty awesome. And then down here, we got Puppet Master. I bought these from Full Moon Entertainment. And for those who know, of course, we got Blade. And then we have Torch. And there's the old DVD box set of the movies. And that's pretty much it for these shelves here. Next up, in this corner here, we have these NECA figures, which came from Scream Factory. And you can see the Angela figure from Night of the Demons. You can see Tom Atkins from Night of the Creeps. Then there's this Howling figure, which I love. I love the Howling. It's a great movie from Joe Dante. And the Slumber Party Massacre figure, the killer. Then we have the Wolfman. I love this little 9-inch scale figure from the Wolfman. And then we have Freddy Krueger Candy Bowl. And there's some Book of the Dead Necronomicon action going on behind Freddy there. Then, of course, we have these Toonie Terrors. I love these Toonie Terrors, man. I can't resist buying them. Every time I tell myself I'm not going to buy them, I always ended up buying them. But I had to get these little figures from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Probably the best Halloween sequel, in my opinion. But these are great, and I just had to have them. And hanging out right next to the Toonie Terrors, we have this Linda Blair doll. What horror room would be complete without a life-size doll of Linda Blair as Reagan from The Exorcist? This has freaked a lot of people out. Some friends, my niece, I think, was scared of this thing. I think my mom. She doesn't like this fucking thing either. I mean, look at that. And I think I got this from like a Halloween prop store. One of those places like Party City or Spirit Halloween. It's one of those stores that only opens up like once a year for Halloween. But Linda Blair, that is some freaky shit. As you can see, she's got the vomit dribbling out of her mouth there, and she is looking pretty fucking gnarly. And next to Linda, there's this Nightmare on Elm Street 3 cardboard standee, and it was autographed by Robert Englund. Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. And I just love that standee. I mean, that is a classic poster. Such a classic. And this is sort of Freddy themed, as you can see, because I've got the Freddy plush. And what I really want to talk about is this right here. This Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Master, this promo light box that I got from Premiere Video, and I actually bought it from the store owner when he was selling off all his stuff when they were closing down. This was pretty much during the death of the video store era, and I had seen this thing in Premiere Video since I was a kid, so I had to have this light box. It was just a must. I need to put a bulb in this thing and light this sucker up, but this is definitely like the pride and joy of my horror room. I'm absolutely in love with this thing. Next up, we have this corner of collectibles, as I like to call it. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys. This video could go on forever. I can't go through all this shit. I mean, it is just, it's a lot. But I'll go through some of it. I really like this changeling ball that came in from Severin. And the ghoulie on the toilet. There's an original Halloween film cell. This came from one of the old like Anchor Bay editions. Yeah, 2001. Enough is never enough for the stuff. If you guys haven't seen the stuff, man, that's another movie from Larry Cohen that I just absolutely love. Then we have the Brain Gremlin. The Brain Gremlin. Who doesn't love that fucking guy? And we got some Jaws stuff back here. We got Pennywise. We have a Nightmare on Elm Street old clamshell VHS case. We have the Creature from the Black Lagoon. We have Toxie, the Toxic Avenger. I actually just picked this guy up recently, and I didn't have a place to hang him, so I just kind of stuck him back there. It seemed like he matched with the Creature from the Black Lagoon there. Moving on, we have these NECA figures, which you guys know what's up with all this. If you buy stuff from Scream Factory, you know about these. You got Stevie Wayne from The Fog. You got Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is all cool stuff. And then over here, there's little Ricky from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. And more Freddy stuff down here. I seem to really love Freddy, don't I? I got this Freddy's Dead comic book. There's some killer trivia back there. These right here, these cards, the collector card set, I've had these since I was a kid. I absolutely love these. Let me just show these off really quick. That is just so awesome. These hologram cards. As you can see, there's Alice. Then, what do we got here? Ooh, that light. It's crazy. Look at that. I think that's Robert Englund from, what was that, part 5? I can't tell. But yeah, these were cool cards. It's such a collector's item right here. Very cool stuff. Anyway, let me put that back. But yeah, those are cool. And then we got a critter down there. I forgot to mention the Freddy glove, in case you guys didn't see. There's a Freddy glove. And then up here, I wanted to mention these really quick. These clay figures. These are awesome. Like, there's this guy, Barry the Clay Guy. I met him at Texas Frightmare, and he does good work. If you can find the guy on Instagram or Facebook, you should be able to buy these. But see, I had to get, Evil Ed from Fright Night, Killer from Valentine, the Cupid Killer. There's Cujo back there. Barry the Clay Guy did not do that. I believe I bought that off Dee Wallace, actually. Yeah, she signed it. Dee Wallace signed that. That's awesome. There's Demons back there, the chick from Demons. And then we got Cropsy. Who doesn't fucking love Cropsy from The Burning? That's classic stuff. And then we got Basket Case. And we got Carrie's mom. Carrie's mom, Margaret White. Crazy bitch. And then we got Danny holding up little Tony there on the tricycle. So yeah, these are awesome clay figures. Barry the Clay Guy, like I said, check out his stuff on Instagram, wherever you can find him online. I met him at a horror con, but you should be able to track him down. Oh, and I forgot to show off Billy here from Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think I've got a lot of Silent Night, Deadly Night shit. That's another movie you guys should really check out. I'm sure if you're a horror fan, you've seen it by now, but awesome stuff. Okay, guys, this video is starting to run long as hell. I mean, like way longer than what I thought. I'm getting kind of winded and exhausted, but I wanted to show you the stuff surrounding this window here, starting with this TV guide, this old TV guide that I saved that was advertising Stephen King's The Shining with Steven Weber, which I'm not a big fan of. I mean, let's be honest. The Kubrick version is a masterpiece. Stephen King seems to really love Mick Garris's version, you know, but that's just because he basically loves everything except for Stanley Kubrick's version. But so there's that, and then there's Firestarter Rekindled with Marguerite Moreau, I think is who it was. Yeah, and then we got some more Freddy shit. Not surprised. That is Dr. Seuss Freddy from Nightmare 4. And then we have Debbie. And then up here, this was a signed photo from Shawnee Smith. She signed it Angel Eyes, as you can see there. She said that I had nice eyes, so I was pretty flattered by that. And then here, she signed this. This was, again, on my 25th birthday. I hate looking at that. It makes me feel old as shit. But she put 25 and fine. So, again, I was really flattered by that. Then there's Linnea Quigley. I mean, come on, man. Scream Queen Linnea Quigley from Return of the Living Dead, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Graduation Day. I mean, countless others, man. Linnea Quigley is just legendary to me, and I'm such a huge fan. And then here's a signed photo from Kane Hodder. Jason Goes to Hell. And then Lar Park Lincoln signed that from from Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. And then of course there's Danielle Harris, who signed her picture from the Rob Zombie's Halloween movie when she played Annie. And then down there, you can barely see it. No, you can see it. That's her from Halloween 4 when she played Little Jamie. And on this wall over here, I don't think I showed these yet. I don't know, my brains are kind of fried at this point, but no, I didn't show these. But Salem's Lot, I bought these at, I think, Spooky Empire. These were awesome. I had to have that. Barlow and Straker, James Mason, come on, Reggie Nalder. Salem's Lot is just, that's got to be my favorite vampire movie of all time. And another great vampire movie, speaking of, Fright Night. We got Charlie Brewster, Jerry Dandridge. These are cool action figures. And then along the bottom, we got these classic horror action figures, Creature from the Black Lagoon. And then we got the Phantom of the Opera. I had to have that. That is just iconic. And then, speaking of iconic, we got the only Pennywise that matters, Tim Curry's Pennywise. And next to him, we got more of these Toonie Terrors, which if you guys haven't seen these Toonie Terrors by now, you get so addicted to buying them, you know. I got Herbert West from Reanimator. I've got Victor Crowley. So that's pretty awesome. Moving up, we got oh yeah, The Fog. I had to have Blake from The Fog. That is just, The Fog is one of my favorite horror movies. A lot of people shit on it. They don't think it's one of Carpenter's best, but I disagree. And then we have Cropsy. I don't remember where I got this, but as soon as I saw it, I was throwing some money at it. And then I think you already saw this before. Yeah, Cordell, Maniac Cop. Excellent movie. And with that, guys, that is it. That is basically everything in my horror room. I mean, not everything. I didn't go through every single little knick-knack and bric-a-brac. I don't have the time, quite frankly. I can't go through all these little trinkets and toys and shit, but that's why I'm giving you guys a broad view here of the room because, I mean, you get it. You get it. We covered damn near everything. You see the posters and all that cool stuff and all the DVDs and stuff over here. So, yeah. And like I said, I'm going to fill this wall space up pretty soon. But that's basically it, guys. So if you like this kind of shit, be sure to stab the like button, and I will talk about more horror. But I gotta go because this video is it's basically, you know, wore out its welcome. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, you know, sticking around. If you made it to the end of this video, that's awesome. But yeah, you've been listening to Rich with Red Phone Video, and I'll be sure to talk more movie madness with you soon. But until then, take care, have a horrific day. Like I said, stab the like button, and we'll catch you next time.